Yo guys, what is up? It is your boy Kadenda, and today I'm going to be talking about some Jayce changes that recently changed on the PvE. I actually made a video about this yesterday where I was looking at the Jayce changes to the Q. They were going to change the Shock Blast Cannon Q to different numbers than what they have today, but they switched them today, and I gotta say I very much disagree with the changes in the direction they're taking Jayce. So right now, as you can see, they're changing the damage from 70 scaling up to 295 with 100% base or bonus AD scaling to 55 scaling up to 305 with a 120% bonus AD scaling. So yes, we get the 120% bonus AD ratio back, but the key thing to look at, and the thing I really pointed out in my last video that I obviously won't release, but the key thing to look at is the levels 3 and 4 of the Q. Because if you think about it, right, levels 1 through 6 are these first 3, right? Because if you're level 3, you're going to have 1 point in each of your abilities, or maybe you even have 2 points in Q. You eventually have to put 1 point in W. So at level 4, you have this value. At level 5, you have this value. And at level 6 or level 7, you're going to have this value. So you only even out with these changes in terms of base damage, obviously not the bonus AD ratio, but in terms of the base damage, you only even out at around levels 6 and 7, which I think is just too much. Like, you're just removing too much of his early agency in lane in order to give him scaling. And the last changes, the previous changes they had on there, had this scaling up to 330, which, if you know, the old damage was actually 10 higher than what Jayce actually had on his Q damage in patch 3 or patch 9.11, which was fine. I was completely fine with giving up some early agency for that later game scaling, that later game damage. But as you can see from this tweet, current list is Kennen, Jayce, and Nico with changes aimed at lowering their early damage output and giving them more scaling instead, and adding a bit of risk to their laning patterns. This isn't more scaling. This isn't more scaling at all. You're neutering the champion. You're neutering the champion levels 1 through 6, and then you're making it so that he has even less damage than he had pre 9.11. And if you guys played any Jayce, 9.11 Jayce, he didn't scale. Even though it scaled up to 320 damage, this champion did not scale until late game. And to say otherwise is just complete bullshit. Like, the champion did not fucking scale. So I thought with at least 10 damage, you know, they're giving us something, but they're actually removing 15 damage from pre 9.11. Yes, they're buffing it by 15 damage to whatever the fuck we have right now. But in return, they're completely neutering and taking away the early game agency of Jayce, which I just completely disagree with. I think these changes are absolutely trash, and I really hope Riot reconsiders when changing Jayce, because if these changes go through, I'm not really sure if I'm going to keep playing the champion, to be honest. But we'll find out. We'll see. I'll be trying to make moves on Twitter, try to fucking get these boys to brighten up and straighten up, but no promises, but we'll try. As always, love yourself, love your life, and take pride in yourself. Peace, baby. Peace. Where the fuck is the stop record? There it is.